My name is Francis Lewis, merchant, delegate from New York, and signer of the Declaration of Independence. I gave everything to the cause, and I would do it again. Was born in Wales and educated in England. But America was my dream. I told myself that's the place for a young man with brains and ambition. And venture to America I did, where I made my fortune. When war came, I gave that fortune to the war effort. I served in Congress, secured arms and clothing, and outfitted ships. Like all the signers, this made me a marked man. When the British took Long Island in 1776, they burned my home to the ground and destroyed all of my cherished possessions. But they did something much worse than that. They took my dear wife Elizabeth as prisoner. She never recovered from the ordeal and died in my arms. This was my punishment for signing the Declaration. But I would not turn back. Freedom demands much of us, but what it gives in return is everything.
And this pen was used by President Wilson to sign the 19th Amendment.
What's that?
The amendment allowing women to vote. Until then, not a woman here could vote no matter what age. But the 19th Amendment struck down that restrictive rule.
Why'd they go and do that? I didn't think chicks liked to vote.
Yeah!
Uh-oh.
And this pen was used by...
This is the world that you know. The world as it was at the end of the 20th century. It exists now only as part of a neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix. You've been living in a dream world, Neo. This is the world.
Cameras on, we're going live tonight. American pride and patriot fight. The white rabbit has taken flight. Knock, knock, sleepy Neo, this is for real. We're swallowing red pills left and right. Come and overdose with us Tuesday night. They say we're crazy, say we've gone too far, but we're just truth seekers under the dome. Don't be mad at us, Google Chrome. They laugh, they mock, they think we're insane. Please just use your effing brain. This is the UPC, where real Americans are standing up, taking control of the matrix we keep dying for. You don't like it, you can leave. If you wanna complain, call the damn 6 screens, cause we're already detached from deep state machines. They say we're crazy, they say I've gone too far, ready to drown us with feathers and tar. If you're still in our country, we haven't gone far enough. They love to hate us, thinking we've gone insane, but we could care less, they don't know our pain. This is the UPC, where real Americans are standing up, taking control of the matrix we keep dying for. You don't like it, you can leave. If you wanna complain, call the damn 6 screens, cause we're already detached from state machines. This is who we are, we bleed red, white, and blue. We're never gonna stop Trinity. This ain't no place for sensitivity, not even worried about our credibility. When it's all in flames, don't call me to light the flare. Don't call me to light the flare, because no one is coming to save us, Jesus Christ. Don't call me to light the flare. But if I say Christ is king, oops, I'm anti-Semitic too. This is the UPC, where real Americans are standing up,
Is everybody ready to go tonight?
I'm telling you, that song really does make a difference. Like I am going to do a karaoke remake of the song and we should put our voices on it, honestly, because I really want to sing that song myself.
All right, so John, XJW Analyzer, if you are watching the show this evening, that is your next hobby we need, or next favor we need from you. So anyway, so real quick, welcome everybody to the UPC this evening. We are fired up. We are excited for the show this evening. If you want to talk about swallowing up on red pills, that's going to happen tonight. We're going to get spicy. We're going to be unrelenting, like our title says that we are. So we're gonna do something. Sorry, I just took over, Ruby. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So
tonight. Go ahead.
All right. So what we're gonna do something a little bit different this evening. Instead of me and Ruby starting off the show giving our opinions, information we have. If you are watching right now and you have something to say about the Minneapolis shooting this past week, we want you to come on the stage right now. All right. We want you to voice your opinion. We're not going to say anything to you. Okay. We're just going to let you have the floor for a few minutes, speak your piece, and then you're going to get off the camera or whatever. I mean, you can hang around if you want to. I don't care. But then after you guys give y'all's opinion on everything, then we're going to shut that down, and then we're going to go into our information that we have for you on this stuff. So go ahead and join the stage now. While we're doing that, I want to give a shout out to John. Yes, he is doing our thumbnails the last 2 episodes, so we appreciate that, buddy. And for those that were involved in our former religion, he does have a video out, a documentary, a 2-hour documentary, basically the history of the Watchtower and the Jehovah's Witnesses. So he did it very well. If there was a gap in the community between content, you'd have some people talking about Rutherford or some people talking about Russell, but John put it all together, and it's just one really good documentary. So go check that out. He's done a great job with that. So anyway, that's the start off, and something new this evening. I am actually on my computer, so hopefully it doesn't glitch up on us, and I'm going to try to share my screen tonight. I'm going to try to do that this evening, so hopefully there's no technical issues, and if that's the case, I will jump off of here and get on my phone. So anyway, all right, I'm almost out of breath. Go ahead, Ruby.
All right, so I'm just showing XJW Analyzer's YouTube page on the screen right now. If you guys don't already know who he is, yeah, and thank you to him for the thumbnails too. I mean, he's really great. I mean, he even did the music video for the song. I tried to look up the apps that he was using, and I felt like a boomer. I was embarrassed. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. So thank you so much to him for volunteering
today's his birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. Okay, everybody in the chat put happy birthday to XJW, to John. You can just say John. I was going to say his YouTube name, but yeah, we got to say happy birthday to him.
So happy birthday, brother. So, and he's currently feeling pretty good right now. He's let's just say he's floating on a cloud right now. I won't tell you what put him on that cloud, but let's just say he's floating on it.
No, Jimmy, no.
He's floating on a cloud right now. Hey, I didn't say what he was doing, but he's on a cloud.
I can't believe you see.
He's relaxing.
Well, I am so thankful for him, and everybody please say happy birthday to him, or even go to his channel too and comment on his latest video if you want to, and say happy birthday. Okay, we do have a comment. I don't know if, because I know JG said he's too shy to join the stage. You don't have to show your face. You can use your voice if you want to, or just put it in the chat and I'll bring it up on the stage and we can talk about it.
Yeah, so we really need everybody participating really quickly. We want to keep this thing going tonight. So, all right. So what you got so far?
Okay, so let me scroll up. Let me see. Hello, everybody in the chat, guys. let's see. Okay, so Latin America Preparedness said, only thing I have to say is the Minnesota shooting could have been avoided.
Okay. I'm going to write some of these down too. So we have that.
And I think that's pretty fair. Like that's a fair statement.
Yeah, it is a very fair statement. And we're going to show you why it could have been avoided. We're going to mention that this evening too, why it could have been avoided.
Okay, good. Another Jay in the chat says, my opinion is that it was not self-defense. And if it wasn't after the first shot. 2 and 3 is murder. That's my opinion.
All right, so not self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually, because if I don't write these down, I'll forget. Second and third were murder.
Right. But this one is a little confusing, Jay, because he says, and if it was. So it's kind of like he's insinuating that if the opinion is or was that it was self-defense, then in that case, he considers the second and third shot as murder, like overkill, basically.
Yeah, it's basically he's saying overkill. I can't say that. I'll like I said, I'll hold my thoughts on it. But yeah. I want to put these all together so I can make sure, or we can make sure that we're touching all these points. So please keep it going, guys. And if Bo's out there, Bo, come on the camera. Where you at, man?
Yeah, I don't see him in the chat, so I don't know if he's here, but we miss you. Let's see. Latin says again, oh, happy birthday. Oh, he says shooting would have never happened if she was in compliance by turning off the car and getting out of the car.
All right. So we have compliance.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't have happened. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see.
It's like Jane Spitfire's got something in the comments.
Jane, where's Jane? Jane.
I see her over here on the chat on my screen. It might not. I think the thing's lagging behind a little bit on YouTube.
Oh, okay. She says the victim, Renee G, was a protester from Colorado and there to block traffic. She was told to stop, and ICE and police did not mess with them, giving instructions. Protesting is risky business. So she's kind of like explaining it. I don't see an opinion there. So Jane, let us know if you do have an opinion about that situation. Let us know if you want to share that. Okay, she says follow the darn instructions. Okay, that's more of a position.
Follow the law.
Yeah, JG said kind of left field that he's afraid that Trump is taking us into World War III. Well, newsflash, JG, we're gonna get there whether we like it or not. It's not.
I can. We've been in World War III since about 2020. Okay, let's just leave it at that. Yeah. I've talked about it before, but we'll talk about it. So let me write that down as a side point, and we can get back to it. World War III. Okay. All right.
And that's it for now. So I don't know if anybody if you're watching this in the future, let us know in the comments after this live is posted, because I am still interested to see. I want to gauge our audience and see where they're at when it comes to stuff like this. But so far, so good. I'm noticing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, to keep the flow of the show going, we will keep checking the chat to see if you guys have anything. If you're just joining the show now, we have asked folks to come on the camera if they have an opinion about this Minnesota shooting, and then we're going to give you guys this, your moment of voicing it, and then we were going to do our part. So what we got now?
We got a few more popped in.
Right, cool.
Jay continues. He says Biden caused this entire problem. Trump is trying to fix it, but I feel things have gone too far. We are in civil war already.
Okay.
I will make a comment on that later, Jay. I like that.
Biden calls this okay already.
Yeah,
So,
that Biden caused this entire problem.
okay.
All right. Loyal Tangi says staged on all sides.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Uh-huh. All right. John Marciano says, we still don't know why Good was stopped by ICE. And I think we do. So I would
Yeah, we
like,
do.
Yeah, we do. We do. So that's a good place to start. Let's see. Okay, Jane is talking about Greenland. Let's see.
Yeah, we need to make a note because I was thinking about that tonight before we started the show. Greenland does need to be talked about. We need to bring some history to that situation and the importance of that. So if we don't have a huge burn the internet story, is everybody's internet still okay? And y'all still okay? Did you put the fire out? Because they tried to burn it down, right? They tried to burn down the internet this week. But so if nothing crazy pops off, that's always you never know. We'll talk about Greenland. We'll cover Greenland next week.
Oh, and Iran. Like, what has been going on these past few days? You got to write that down as homework because I'll be honest, I am not educated on geopolitics, so this situation I am not up to date with.
So let me go to my phone real quick and look up something regarding that for you real quick. Watch. Let's see. Watch Iran and go. Let's see. All right. Just for those that don't know, Q post 1943.
Here we go.
It was posted August 28th in 2018. This is what it said. Watch Iran. Something incredible is about to happen. The good people of Iran have the power. Fight for your freedom. That was in 2018.
Okay, but I mean, Iran has always been a situation. You know what I mean? Like that. It's like I want to know why, and I also want to know why is that any of our business? Because you guys already know I'm so like anti.
We can. Hey, we'll put Iran on the list for next week. Okay.
Definitely, right. Please do. We do have something from Rosie.
Yeah, what we got?
Rosie says that her county sheriff posted a public service announcement saying if law enforcement tells you to stop, you can always sue later. Even if you were right, do you want to be dead right? Reactions protesting this weekend about this.
Okay.
Lisa says should have never happened if those people would have just let ICE do their job, but those agents have every right to defend themselves from bodily harm or death.
Okay. All right. So these are really good comments. And I told Ruby before we did the show tonight that neither her nor I have publicly came out and done a video on the situation at all this past week. While you had everybody out there, getting in front of a camera, putting their videos out 24, 48 hours after it happened, a lot of those people are now having to eat some crow because remember, when a big story breaks, we got to give it 48 to 72 hours for more information to come out. And that always happens. So now we are 6 days past it. We have so much information. We've seen so much more stuff come out that it has completely destroyed the left's narrative. And we're going to show you examples of that too. So
right.
I'm glad we did.
But you see, the problem with this kind of stuff for me is that when I saw it happening, when it happened, it was nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like they blow things out of proportion when that was a nothing burger to me. Like, it's just too obvious. So it kind of feels like, why are we still wasting time on a viral moment? You know what I'm saying? It's like America is always function, or not America, the media always functions on this 2-minute viral clip, like they did with the George Floyd stuff. And I'm kind of sick and tired of that, honestly.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you this. Well, let's just play around here a little bit. 4 years ago, Ruby,
Right.
how would you probably have reacted to this video?
The same I would now. Like it doesn't matter
sure?
to me. But
Are you
care.
sure? Remember when?
Yes, listen, I have never cared about these types of situations because it's law enforcement. You see what I'm saying? It's like, to me, that's kind of like a given. Like, if you're gonna square up with the police, don't get shocked or surprised when you get shot. So to me, it doesn't matter. It feels like, duh, like it's just too obvious to me.
Okay, I get where you're coming from. Okay, so just because of the situation it was, that didn't shock you. All right. Because I was gonna go down the road of maybe it's because now you're more awake to what the media's tactics are, and it's not affecting you as it would have 4 years ago.
The only difference is that I am awake to that fact. Because even before, it never moved me emotionally. Like I don't care about that. But I never knew that they were actually using those things to sway like a movement. You know, like I used to think that those were organic movements that people actually were like, you know, how they say like defund the police or BLM or stuff like that. Oh, and quick side note, I see you, Rosie, in the chat, because she said that you made a video 5 years ago talking about this situation when it happened in the BLM stuff. And I was watching a couple of minutes of you from 5 years ago, and it's almost like you're repeating yourself. That's an issue for me. Like, why are we still talking about the same kind of things 5 years later? That's what bothers me. Why are we still stuck on this?
In my opinion, Ruby, there's still a lot of people that have watched this past week's events, and they still think it's real. They think it's organic.
Exactly.
They're still plugged in. If you go back to the intro of our show, some of them are still plugged into that matrix, and they haven't unplugged yet. That's why they're still having that reaction. Now, it may seem like I was repeating myself, from 5 years ago, but how long have we been under this spell of being brainwashed and everything? A long time. So
that's what it seems like to me, and it's kind of it's almost like I don't have the patience for normies anymore. I don't. It's like you shouldn't be upset about the police doing their job. Like we're in 2026. Let's get him. We got bigger problems. Like leave me alone with some chick in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just bothersome.
Yeah. And I think what is happening here, and this is why, a part of me, I'll just say a part of me leans to the whole staged thing because of the way I believe with some of the stuff, like, hey, we're watching a movie. Everything is scripted. Everything has been designed over the last 5, 6, 7 years to start waking people up. And I have said before that it's going to take different things to wake people up. Is the blatant lies of the media going to be one of those things that wakes somebody up? Or are they going to have to see something so outrageous on the TV, totally believe in it, and then, oops, it gets debunked? That is exactly what has happened with this situation. And I've already seen evidence that there's a few of the liberal folks that were leaning liberal, this incident caused them to wake up. So was it theater? Was it theater to wake up more people up? Maybe not. But
in my opinion, we already had that with 9/11. So to me, it's almost like I don't give people that benefit of doubt anymore. We already had that event where it shook the world. and we continue to have those events. That's also problematic in itself. And then when you see certain things that happen in America, we think, oh my God, the world is ending because ICE shot some lady. Like, stop. I don't care. It would be different if she was actually like like a stray bullet got her or something, like an innocent person got shot and had nothing to do with the situation, like absolutely nothing to do. That's different. But please, like, spare me. I'm tired. But you see, Jimmy, I told you people might take this the wrong way. I don't want to sound insensitive as if I don't care, but it's just we are at the point, and for me, I am at the point in time where these things to me should not like spill into politics. It's not a political thing. It was obstruction of justice. Okay, that's completely different. And they always want to make it into a protest, into burning cities all over again. I'm over it. I'm over it.
Right. Yeah. I'm sorry. I was distracted by the chat. I mean, I get that. But then you got to dig a little bit deeper and find out who exactly is behind this stuff, causing this stuff to happen. And why does it keep happening? And we're going to touch on that, especially with this incident here, that there's other things behind the scenes that were happening or being exposed, and then they have to have a distraction. And the media has to. So it's like with 9/11. Donald Rumsfeld came out on September 10th and said, "Hey, guess what? The Pentagon can't account for $2.3 trillion." At the time, that's huge news. That's going to make all the headlines. Exactly. And then 9/11 happened. Exactly. And no one talked about it ever again. So exactly, we're going to show an example of this situation. So any last thing from the comments that, before we go ahead and get into it?
Yes, because Jane says lots of police and ICE use racial profiling, but shocked it happened to a white lady. Which was quite the opposite, which is another thing that I'm sick and tired of. I don't believe in profiling. I don't believe in racism and things like that. I don't believe in those things anymore. I think that the media has squeezed out the race card so much that, to me, I don't even pay attention to race anymore. I don't care about that at all.
Wasn't there a clip that you sent me? There was a black lady in the car talking, and did she say something about that the racism card isn't working for the deep state anymore?
You sent that to me, actually. You sent it to me. It was a TikTok video. You sent it to me, and I totally agree with her. I was like, absolutely.
Isn't that the video she says that in?
Say that again?
Is that the video? She says that in the video, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's play that.
Okay, so let me see. Did you send it to me on X? No, I'm gonna have to try to find this.
All right, so let me go ahead and mess with my computer. Let's go to X.
I think you sent it to my cell phone. So if you have it,
I'm looking.
It was a TikTok video. She's in her car. Let me see. Tracy says, nice to see you, Jimmy. Let's see who else is here.
Thank you, Tracy. Yeah, I don't know where it's at. I had it on my phone.
Yeah.
You know what?
Thank you, Rosie. You see, Rosie gets me. She says, yeah, someone was killed in public, but so was Charlie Kirk, Erna Saruska, Austin Metcalf. I don't know about that one, so I'm going to have to look that up. National Guardsman, okay, who was shot in DC. The left didn't care, but burned down cities over this situation. Exactly. That's exactly how I feel, Rosie. Thank you so much for saying that, because I told Jimmy before we started that I know that it happens to me, because if I said something like that in the street, people would say the same thing, like, oh my God, you don't care? Like, somebody died. I'm like, okay, people die every day. But when we talk about it in a political sense, exactly what happened to Charlie Kirk and what did they do and what did they say? You know what I'm saying? So it's like it has turned, unfortunately, it has turned people like us very callous to this type of stuff. Like, do not be acting dumb and then get surprised when somebody gets shot. You can protest the right way, and that right is protected. And I agree with the protesting. She can protest all she wants, but do not obstruct justice in the middle of the street and then accelerate in your car and be surprised when you meet your maker earlier than what you thought it was going to be. Like that, it's like, no, it's like, please, somebody take over. I'm like, please, somebody else take over for me, because I am going to sound so insensitive, but it's just the honest truth nowadays. If it was a different country, if it was a different climate in our country politically, then I wouldn't be saying this. I probably would be saying something completely different. But after the whole Charlie Kirk situation, forget about it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's go and let me try to use this screen share thing, and let's go ahead and piggyback on what we talked about last week. So y'all just bear with on what are we being distracted from? Let me say it that way. What was everybody being distracted from? So let me share screen, and oh God, which one is it? I think it's the 10 one. Is it this one? Yeah. Okay, share.
And these folks have been facing.
Yes, I can. In my opening statement, I mentioned that the most severe ones was that they would be fired with cause, so they couldn't have unemployment insurance.
Oh man, that is evil. These people are evil.
That they would be blacklisted from all state agencies, and I bet that it's also Hennepin County and Ramsey County, as you know, those are Democrat run, and much more.
Based on what you've learned, Representative, over the last several years, do you have any doubt that Governor Tim Walz knew about this fraud as it was occurring?
He absolutely knew that it was occurring.
Of course he did. He's either like criminally incompetent, which I mean could be. I mean, that guy is really dumb, or 100% involved, knew about it.
Thank you. The Housing Stability Services Program was estimated to cost about $2.6 million per year. But before it was shut down last October, it was on track to run about $122 million in 2025. In fact, I think they sucked $161 million out of it from the point it started in 2020 until it was finally shut down. Isn't that correct?
That is correct. And Joe Thompson believes that 90% of that was fraud.
Yeah.
90. Dear Lord.
The Quality Leering Center, as uncovered by Nick Shirley, received almost $10 million in funding. Is that accurate?
I believe it is.
There are more than 80 autism centers in Minnesota under investigation. Is that true?
I believe it is, yes.
Wow.
It's clear that someone is criminally complicit. You can't just let this amount of money get out of your administration over a period of 7 years without knowing. There was a hearing in the state regarding the fraudulent housing stabilization program, but before that hearing, Governor Walz fired the official who was slated to testify so that they could not testify and expose what was happening under Governor Walz's watch. Has Governor Walz or Attorney
That's crazy.
General Ellison fired anyone else to your knowledge, Representative?
Not to my knowledge, and that was Eric Rumdahl, and his administration believes that he was not fired, but I say he was fired because it was too convenient.
Right. Representative Hudson, is it true that 90% of the individuals charged, regardless of what your colleague on the panel just said with his facts and figures, 90% of the individuals charged or indicted with the $250 million Feeding Our Future COVID fraud are of Somali descent?
I believe that to be correct.
Are you aware that in
Wow.
2021 video, Mr. Ellison promised that he would obstruct his own agencies in their investigation of Somali fraud?
I am very much aware of that.
That is crazy as hell. Straight to jail.
It's no wonder that criminals in the Somali community felt they were free to steal taxpayer dollars. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Marion. Do you have any doubt that Tim Walz knew about this fraud as it was occurring?
None whatsoever.
Walz and Ellison were
There you
protecting
go.
fraudsters instead of investigating them, and it was purposeful. And it's no coincidence that this is occurring largely in the Somali community. Walz made a sanctuary state, Minnesota, a sanctuary state. He gave free health care, free college, and free licenses to illegals. And Walz looked the other way when Somali immigrants were stealing. Representative Robbins, do you have any doubt that Tim Walz knew about this fraud as it was occurring?
None whatsoever.
So all three of you have no doubt in your minds that Tim Walz knew about the $9 billion of fraud during his tenure as governor and did nothing about it.
So clearly, this is no longer about partisan spin. Federal prosecutors already proved massive fraud in Minnesota. Oversight committees are expanding the lens, and every hearing tightens it. Tim Walz insists it's politics. This is politically motivated. Lawmakers insist it's called accountability, Tim. The paper trail decides who's right. And right now, the paper trail is growing. Y'all like the video right there? Follow for more. Let me know what you think in the comments.
And that is exactly what we talked about last week a little bit. Remember, I mentioned it. I was like, you guys got to see this clip. You guys have to see the 40-minute little show that Nick Shirley had. When he went there in person, he was knocking on doors and they were literally treating him as if he's not allowed to ask questions or tour the daycare or anything like that. It was crazy.
Okay, so, yeah, absolutely. So I see in the chat, Tracy Harris said this is a different issue, though. Is it? Is it?
Nope.
Because think about what have we learned? We have learned that every time any bad news or an investigation starts on a globalist deep state player, they have to have a distraction. Yeah. Something has to be created to take the eyes of the public off of what's happening. This happened in Congress last week on the day it happened.
And I didn't even see that.
You didn't see that?
I didn't see no clips. Because usually on X, people repost clips just like that. You know, the way TikTok does it. I haven't even seen that yet. And I follow a lot of independent people. So where is this?
So think about everybody that's still buying into the narrative. They have no clue that that congressional hearing was going on. Why? One, they're still programmed into the matrix. And two, they got sucked into the media spin on this, the outrage cycle, which at the end of the show tonight, we're going to go out with a song called The Outrage Cycle that I created. So I'm just going to throw that in there. So you guys stay to the end because it's kind of a cool song. Anyway, I digress. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so this is not a separate issue because they broke the law in Minnesota, and a lot of it is tied to illegal immigration. And we've talked about immigration before, but we are going to have to touch back on it tonight because a lot of people out there are saying, oh, they just want to have a better life here in Minnesota. Well, of course, they're getting free health care, free food. Everything's being taken care of. Why? So they will vote Democrat. They're buying these votes. And that's what they've been trying to do to other states. Flood them with illegals. And it really frustrates me when people say, oh, they just want a better life. You're illegal. You broke the law. So
yeah, we talk about this all the time. I totally agree with you. And I don't think this issue is, honestly, I don't think it's ever going to get fixed.
Well, I believe it's going to get fixed.
Well, I mean, we could put a Band-Aid on it, but the bleeding is too much. I mean, we are so thin. The American culture, the American values and principles are thinning out. If it's not the next generation, and you see, that's the problem, because the next generation is going to come up, like people like Nick Fuentes. And what do they call him? They call him a white supremacist just because of the things that he says. And quite honestly, he's just an average American. 20 years ago, he would have been an average man just like anybody else.
Yeah.
So the spectrum shifts, not us. We stay the same.
Right. So if we tie this together, what's happened in Minnesota and the reason why this event happened One, you got the fraud, waste, and abuse of taxpayer dollars, which is being used to fund another breaking of a law, illegal immigration into Minnesota. So they're just breaking the law all over the place. So to go back to somebody's point that said this could have been avoided, this whole shooting thing could have been avoided. It absolutely could have been avoided if people were following the damn Constitution and not scamming a state for political power.
Because they're sellouts. They're selling out their state. They're selling out their country. And we're not a serious country, because if we were a serious country, we would be throwing them out of windows by now. And that's not happening. I mean, that might sound extreme, but what did we used to do back in the day? We used to hang people for this type of treason, going against your country like that. So I don't know.
Right. So I just lost my train of thought. It happens all the time. So yeah, it could have been avoided. And then you're going to have people that are going to ignore everything that we just said and say, oh, well, the cops shouldn't have done that anyway. Okay. If they weren't breaking the law, the cop would have never been there.
That's true. Yeah.
Does that make sense to anybody?
Yeah, but even if they are there, no matter what the situation is, the law enforcement are literal. It's almost like the law on legs. You have to obey their commands. It's not a suggestion. You need to do what they say. You know what I'm saying? And you see that go ahead.
It drives me crazy when some of these people say, oh, it's the secret police. I don't see them being secret police. They got police written all over their equipment, their car, some of the cars, they take police cars, but they're not secret police. They're out there in the open. If they were secret, protesters wouldn't be able to find them. For real. And you know what? The whole police situation, my stance even on that, and I think I've said this on season 2, maybe I've said it in season 1 or 2, but I have said this before, that even the whole police system is almost like I don't want to, let me see how to say this. Okay, the city police, the city police, you know how they have like Tampa police, or like the county, like that type of stuff. And then when you go to different little cities, you'll see like, the name of the city and then police, right? Right.
But then you have the actual sheriff, like real state police or state trooper, right? I don't like little city polices, because they don't have, they don't have like the elected official, right? It's just like whoever's appointed. It's almost like an appointment, right? Like it's somebody's job to do like the whole police force, whereas the sheriff is an elected official. Is that correct? Am I right in that?
Yeah.
Okay. So in my opinion, we shouldn't even be having city police. We should just have the sheriff and the state troopers. That's it. Like all these little polices that people be talking about, that's the only thing that I could say I agree with the left when they talk about the police in that sense.
Gotcha.
But we're not talking about regular police. These are the feds.
Yeah. And
stop playing around.
And so I want to address a comment and debunk it right here. It says ICE isn't law enforcement. They aren't trained professionally. A quick question to Gemini will tell you, yes, immigration and custom enforcement agents undergo extensive professional training, though the specific length and curriculum depend on their specific division and the current year's standard. All training is typically conducted at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center in Glencoe, Georgia. And it lists all the different types of things that they go through. So, yes, ICE is trained professionally to do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
like I said, they are federal agents. What do you mean they don't have training? Of course they do. This is the federal government. Okay, that's like an arm of our government. And if you've been watching us long enough, you would also remember how I'm anti-Fed. So this is where a lot of my stances are forced to collide. Because if we shrunk the federal government and we gave more power and authority and force to the states, which it should be, if your state is not powerful, then I don't know what to tell you. But if your own state doesn't even have these things enforced, then what is it? I mean, I don't even respect Minnesota. Like to me, why are they a state? Like get out of here.
And we're going to touch on that. You know, when a state is not exercising authority with federal law, if they're not following the law of the federal Constitution, then that's where the president has the legal and constitutional right to step in and if the state's not following the law, and if they're not protecting their citizens, then the president has all authority to step in. And we're going to talk about that. I got a video to share on that in a second.
Okay, good, because sometimes I don't like that either. You see, I believe in the state having most of the authority. So
I agree with that, but if a state, let's look at it. I mean, okay, so let's see this. The Constitution says the president's number one job is to protect the country and its citizens. Can we say with 100% authority that Tim Walz and the Minneapolis Police Department, are they protecting the citizens of Minneapolis right now?
No, it's a dereliction of duty.
Yeah, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So they have to be, Fed's got to go in.
Right. But if they're not doing their job as elected officials, they should be removed.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know why we're waiting for a resignation. I don't know why we're waiting for things to get crazy to send in force. So, okay, you see, that's the problem. If we're going to agree with the feds, right? If I'm going to double, go 360 and say, let's do the feds, then what are we waiting for? On the other hand, if I don't want the federal government involved in state situations, then if you're going to lead your state in corruption like that, then why are they receiving any federal funding? Why are they getting any help from us at all as United States? They should leave the United States.
Yeah, and that's why Trump has stopped some funding to some of these states already. And that's why he stopped the funding. Because if you cut off the flow of money, then they can't do what they've been doing. And hopefully they move on. But a lot of this has to go back to the immigration policies. And, I do want to touch on that this evening because everybody wants to blame Trump for this. We know how the media is. We know how those who have TDS, how they are. They want to blame this on Trump.
It's the sheriff's fault. It's the police's fault because even the police is supposed to do their job no matter who the governor is or no matter what the governor says. So it's the police's fault.
Well, remember that we've talked about how the infiltration has gone down from the federal level, down to the state level, down to the county level, down to our police. There are corrupt deep state police officers out there, and they're the ones that will have no problem in staging something if they were asked to do it. You see what I'm saying?
No. You see, no.
Yeah.
This is no. This
goes that deep, girl.
This is why we need guns, because we should be doing citizens arrests. We should be patrolling our own streets. We should have our own neighborhood watches. This is why we use.
I get it.
This is crazy. I can't no more. It bothers me so much. It really does.
We told you guys this was going to be a high energy show this evening, so hopefully
if that's the case, you can't trust no one. You cannot trust your local policeman. You can't trust your local mayor or your governor or whoever is in office. You can't trust them.
That's why you have to pay attention to what's going on around you. I know we all have lives to live and everything, but you have to pay attention to the people that are put in positions of power that are governing your local area or whatever. Are they corrupt? Go find out. You know, that's called a grassroots movement where you have to rise up against your local. If they're not doing what they need to do.
Exactly.
I mean, it happened in Athens. Oh gosh.
I was just about to say that in season 2, you've mentioned, I think like in the 40s that happened, like veterans took over.
Yeah. Veterans came over and took over the county.
Thank you. You see, that's a true veteran that's a true veteran right there, because to me, that's exactly what should be happening in every city and state. When you see stuff like this happening, why do you let it? It's your responsibility. It's your city, your state, the school your child goes to, the city where you work. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I would rather strap up and follow the Constitution and the law my own way. And if something bad happens, then something bad happens.
Right.
But you know, like I'm not gonna defend or feel sorry for someone who is obstructing the law enforcement at all. Like I will never spend another waking moment thinking about that.
And speaking of the obstruction thing, you know, it's not only do we have let me get my thoughts straight. Not only do we have the violation of immigration law, violation of federal waste and abuse money taxpayer law, we have the situation to where the media, oh Lord have mercy, sorry guys, I got too many things going on here and I got squirrel. I went squirrel on y'all and I apologize for that.
It's okay. It's okay.
We have the rhetoric. We have the rhetoric of the mainstream media feeding into this as well. And I have a perfect clip to share because, you know, everybody's now focused on these ice raids in Minnesota, and it's all over the news, and somebody got shot, blah, 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 blah. But is this the first time this has happened? What's been going on in Minnesota? So let me click here. Let's see, proof. Okay, let me go here. Let me hit share screen. I kind of like sharing screen. Okay. Let's see. This is the guy. Here we go. Share.
The individuals that you've been here.
Oh, sorry, y'all.
The woman that was shot and killed in Minneapolis would be alive if she didn't buy in to the false liberal narrative regarding ICE, Trump, and Republicans. And I can prove this with one stat. Between the years of 2020 and 2024, when Joe Biden was in office, here in Minnesota, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement arrested roughly 6,562 illegal immigrants. Not once in those 4 years did any of the individuals that you've been hearing over the course of the past 24 hours and prior to that, calling ICE the Gestapo, calling Trump the second coming of Hitler, telling individuals to go out and protest because they're ripping families apart. During those 4 years and over 6,000 arrests of illegal immigrants in Minnesota by ICE, not once did any of those people, Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara, Attorney General Keith Ellison, Minneapolis Man Baby Mayor Mom Jeans Jacob Fry, Governor Tim Walz, not once in those 4 years did they ever say a single criticism against ICE. And yet the moment that Trump gets in office for his second term and does what had already been happening here in Minnesota. And as a matter of fact, when you look at the data points right now, the arrests that ICE made last year was roughly 1,700, almost equal to what we saw in the previous years. And yet suddenly the narrative changes. They don't care. They're straight up liars peddling their propaganda fantasy land. And that's what got this woman killed, because she bought in to this fake lying narrative perpetuated by these hack activist elected officials. The blood is on their hands. And that data point right there proves it.
So what about that?
100% correct. And she was also involved in her child's like charter school or something. I read on X
Mm-hmm.
that they promote even the children to get politically involved. So they're even brainwashing the children with this garbage. And the parents are kind of like in the PTA. And that's sort of like how this whole thing started. They are on the radar. They are trying to be like foot soldiers for the left. And unfortunately, this happened. So if she would have never done, like, even get involved like that, like, send your kid to school, go to school to learn. Why are you trying to get your, like, why are we trying to put in politics into everything? Just go to school, have a great day, that's it. Like, do your adult political stuff at your own time. And if okay, here we go. Another
I knew you were getting ramped up.
This gets me sick because another major thing that we didn't even get into is that she is supposedly a mother of 3 children. She doesn't even have custody of the other 2 kids, and she has a 6-year-old at home.
Right.
And the baby and the child's father also died. So you made your kid an orphan because you wanted to get all political, right?
Mm-hmm.
If she was a real mother, you would be taking care of your children, taking them to school, go home, pick up your kid from school, and be a mother. Why are you, as a mother, going outside in the street and acting like a fool? Like, it's one thing to get involved politically as a woman, right? But if you have children, you have responsibilities, things like that, you have no business going to a protest I would rather you be a keyboard warrior. If you want to be a warrior, be one on the keyboard. What are you doing in the street?
Yep. Yeah, there's so many videos out there all over X and TikTok making that same statement. Why is a mother out there? And I think there was a guy that was filming Rebecca, her partner, and I think the partner said something about, oh, we got to go pick up the kid. I got to pick up the kid from school. All right. So, shouldn't have you been in the school line but you were out there. You were out there for 3 or 4. There was a video clip that came out just a couple days ago showing 3 minutes of what was happening before the incident happened. So, and it shows her leading the little train of cars, and they were blocking and blowing their horns, and they were doing this all day.
They were following them around, obstructing justice. And I gotta say, this is I'm sorry, but Tracy says his ICE as his personal arm. Please give me a break. That is the most comment I have read today. Please. Use ICE as his personal army. I wish they'll be dragging people out and out of
So to that point, let's go ahead and lead in where I can prove that statement is bullcrap. Sorry, Tracy, I love you, but that statement's bullcrap. I'll call you out. And because what does it take to deport people? It takes ICE, right? Okay, right. So let's go and look at what has been said in the past about illegal immigration and the enforcement. Again, who enforces the laws for the immigration? ICE. And you just said Trump is using ICE as his personal army. All right, hang on a second. You got me wound up now. Let me go ahead and go to my screen, share screen. Let's find the one I'm looking for. I think it's this one. Yep. Share.
Are you now?
Huh?
StreamYard is crazy. hear me or see
every
me.
single Republican president and every single Democratic president for the past half century.
The American people are fundamentally pro-legal immigration and anti-illegal immigration. We will only pass comprehensive reform when we recognize this fundamental concept.
I apologize.
People who enter the United States without our permission are illegal aliens, and illegal aliens should not be treated the same as people who entered the U.S. legally.
Oh, son of a bitch.
First, illegal immigration is wrong, and a primary goal of comprehensive immigration reform must be to dramatically curtail future illegal immigration. Second, operational control of our borders through significant additional increases in infrastructure, technology, and border personnel must be achieved within a year of enactment. Third, a biometric-based employer verification system with tough enforcement and auditing is necessary to significantly diminish the job magnet that attracts illegal aliens to the United States and to provide certainty and simplicity for employers. 4, all illegal aliens present in the United States on the date of enactment of our bill must quickly register their presence with the United States government and submit to a rigorous process of converting to legal status and earning a path to citizenship or face imminent deportation. 5, family reunification is a cornerstone value of our immigration system. By dramatically reducing illegal immigration, we can create more room for both family immigration and employer-based immigration. 6, we must encourage the world's best and brightest individuals to come to the United States and create the new technologies and businesses that will employ countless American workers, but must discourage businesses from using our immigration laws as means to obtain temporary and less expensive foreign labor to replace capable American workers. And finally, 7, we must create a system that converts the current flow of primarily low-skilled illegal immigrants into the United States into a more manageable and controlled flow of legal immigrants who can be absorbed by our economy. Let me elaborate. The first of these 7 principles is that illegal immigration is wrong, plain and simple. Until the American people are convinced that we will stop future flows of illegal immigration, we will make no progress on dealing with the millions of illegal immigrants who are here now and on rationalizing our system of legal immigration. That's plain and simple and unavoidable. When we use phrases like undocumented workers, we convey a message to the American people that their government is not serious about combating illegal immigration, which the American people overwhelmingly oppose. If you don't think it's illegal, you're not going to say it. I think it is illegal and wrong, and we have to change it. Above all else, the American people want their government to be serious about protecting the public, enforcing the rule of law, and creating a rational system of legal immigration that will proactively fit our needs rather than reactively responding to future waves of illegal immigration. To the advocates for strong, fair, effective, comprehensive immigration reform, and I'm certainly one, I say to you that the American people will never accept immigration reform unless they truly believe that their government is committed to ending future illegal immigration. And any successful comprehensive immigration reform bill must recognize this fact.
In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes.
Senator Biden, yes or no, would you allow the cities to ignore the federal law?
No.
I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked.
Undocumented workers broke our immigration laws, and I believe that they must be held accountable, especially those who may be dangerous. Even as we are a nation of immigrants, we're also...
All right, so that was the first clip showing that Obama, Chuck Schumer, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, they all said that there needed to be a stop the flow or there needed to be deportations. Who was going to carry out those actions? That would have been ICE. Would you have made the same statement that, oh, Obama's using ICE as his personal army? All right, so since Ruby's not back yet, let me go over, let me upload this. I got another clip to play. I'm just going to share my screen and let me go over here to X. Share my X feed with you guys for a second. And I'm looking for Spitfire. Let me see here. Didn't know I was going to be taking over the show. Let me find it real quick. Oh, wait. I need to go to my profile. Oh, I'm on my profile. Yeah. All right. Sorry, guys. I missed it. Let me go back to the top. Yeah, I think I missed it. Oh, I was way down there. All right. Where is Ruby at? Is this it? Spitfire. Here we go. Is this the one I already played?
Hey, Jimmy, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I cannot believe what's going on right now. StreamYard completely kicked me off. I don't know if it's my internet or the platform itself, but I am completely kicked out of everything.
Oh, wow. You're looking to be back on. Oh, yeah. Okay, so my YouTube. I was looking at my YouTube. My phone is. All right, so can we continue the clip? Can everybody still hear the clip?
Okay, let's see. Sorry, guys. Okay, I got the clip now. Okay, go ahead, play it.
Okay.
Illegal aliens in the workplace, as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
All right, so let me stop sharing that one. Now let me go back over here to my X. I got one more to play in this manner. MSNBC. All right, right here. MSNBC reports as early as next week, deportation raids nationwide by ICE and will target adults and children. Of course, this report is from 2015. Notice the way MSNBC reacts to the news compared to the same news 10 years later.
And judge, in how does ICE early as next week, deportation raids by the Department of Homeland Security may begin nationwide. According to a report by the Washington Post, the effort will be handled by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents, commonly known as ICE. The operation would only target adults and children who have already been ordered to be removed by an immigration judge. And how does ICE know which people to deport?
They have an intelligence process like any other law enforcement, so they try to investigate based on leads or what they've tracked from people coming across the border, you know, whether they are here illegally.
One of the central issues here or concerns is that ICE is not only going to deport the people that have the standing orders against them, but they may be deporting their families and their children. Is that legally possible?
Yeah, it's legally possible to remove anyone through a deportation order.
Early as next week, deportation raids.
Yep. Pause. Got your StreamYard. Okay, so the point in playing those clips is to show everybody what was said before by the Democrats, what was said by the media, and it was all in support of enforcing immigration laws and doing deportations. So, again, this is why I said the statement that Trump is using ISIS as personal army is not very good. That's because you could have said this. Would you say the same thing that Obama was using as his personal army? Clinton?
No, never.
I mean,
Never.
come on.
I mean, we have such a system that will never allow a president to ever have that much power. And if you're like me, a little bit on the extreme side, I wish Trump could do that. I wish we had a president who could actually enforce it and use it as his personal army. I wish they could round up Congress and he just reads off a list of names and says, all of you are going to be tried. Okay. And then we never see them again. I wish justice was that swift, but we have 3 branches of government. So that
let me help you out with that. Let's go into a little history tidbit. We like to throw a little history at you. Last week we did the Monroe Doctrine. And so this week we need to talk about the Insurrection Act. Because
yes, I've heard.
The Insurrection Act is exactly the act that needs to be in place to fulfill everything that Ruby just said. So, all right, hang on. Let me go to my share screen. Hey, so real quick in the chat. Has this been moving pretty good? Have I been doing all right, guys? I'm trying to.
Yeah, let us know how you feel in the chat, because I feel like in some shows Jimmy's the moderate one and I'm the extremist sometimes, and then other times I feel like Jimmy's totally the conspiracy theorist, or he goes there sometimes, and I feel like a moderate sometimes. So I feel like that's happening tonight.
All right, so let me see here. Let's go here. The Insurrection Act. All right, here we go.
States, the young republic faced a pressing question. How could the federal government maintain order when rebellion or unrest threatened the nation's stability? The answer came in 1807, when President Thomas Jefferson signed into law the Insurrection Act. The Insurrection Act of 1807 is a federal law that grants the president authority to deploy military forces within the U.S. to kick some ass and restore order when civil unrest overwhelms local authorities, or when local authorities refuse to enforce federal law. At its core, the act was designed as a safeguard. The framers of the law recognized that state governments might not always be able or willing to enforce federal law, like the present unwillingness of cities like Chicago, Portland, Boston, LA, and New York, who refuse to enforce federal immigration law. In such cases, the president can step in, even without a governor's consent, to ensure that the laws of the United States are being upheld. Over the centuries, the act has been invoked for various crises. It was used to combat the KKK during Reconstruction, enforce desegregation in Little Rock in 1957, and quell unrest during the 1960s civil rights era and the 1992 Los Angeles riots. To understand the Insurrection Act's weight, we must look at when presidents have used this power. Early uses included threats during the nullification crisis and suppressing rebellion during the Civil War. In 1871, President Grant invoked it against the Ku Klux Klan to break their violent grip. In 1957, Eisenhower used it in Little Rock to enforce school desegregation. In the 1960s, Presidents Kennedy and Johnson relied on it to enforce civil rights orders that racist Southern Democrat governors refused to uphold. And in 1992, just for shits and giggles, George H.W. Bush invoked it to restore order during the Los Angeles riots.
The Act's language is broad, granting the president sweeping discretion to decide when ordinary law enforcement has become impracticable, while supporters insist it is a necessary tool for moments of true national crisis. Its very existence reflects the tension at the heart of American democracy, the balance between liberty and order, between state sovereignty and federal authority.
More than 2 centuries after its passage, the Insurrection Act of 1807 remains one of the most powerful instruments of presidential authority. It is a law that sits quietly in the background of American life, rarely used but always present, waiting for the moment when a president decides that the nation's survival demands it.
All right. So I wanted to go ahead and play that because I wanted to get out in front of this issue because I don't want to hear people screaming and belly aching and crying and showing off their TDS when Trump actually goes through and invokes this. Because I'm going to tell you right now, that is going to happen. The Insurrection Act is going to be called upon. And we just wait. There's going to be riots coming. You know, we've seen a little bit here, but there's going to be more. I mean, I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. So for someone to say that Trump has no legal authority to do this, okay, well, what about Lincoln? What about the other guys that did it?
Right. I mean, yeah, that's understandable. I just want to see it enforced. That's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like everybody is stepping all over the rules, the laws. You know what I'm saying? Like, why aren't the same rules that are applied to us as regular citizens, but not applied to when it fits?
Get rid of the criminal syndicate that's in the place right now. We're in the process. This goes back to the whole. Somebody commented earlier, said we're already in a civil war. Yes,
exactly. And that's what I remember because I said I want to make a comment on that. And you know what? I honestly believe that it will never get that far. It's not a civil war in the sense of one like me and you, like your neighbor. It's not about neighbors anymore. It's about us versus the corrupt government.
Correct.
And I don't think we will ever win that war. We have to fight it with itself.
Let me just say this: if we weren't winning this war, you wouldn't have seen anything in Minnesota this week.
We still have certain privileges, but in reality, go ahead.
But what I'm saying is no one said anything about this in 21 through Biden's term. No one said anything about the arresting of illegal immigrants in Minnesota. That's because at the time, the corrupt government of Minnesota wasn't being exposed. So
they keep it hidden.
Yeah. So now that there's been grand jury investigations into what's happening in Minnesota, these guys have been caught red-handed. So that's why you see the distractions. So this is the war that we're playing. You know, we've said it. I've said it for 5 years. We are in an information war. And the only way the deep state, they've lost. They can't win this information war. We just debunked this whole story from last week. It's 6 days. It's gone. They're going to be something. They're going to move on to something else. So the only play they have left is chaos. That's it.
Exactly, because they can't win. They can't win, so they want shootings. They want these women, these crazy women, to bring their freaking kids to a protest so their kid could get hurt and it can make even bigger news. They want chaos and confusion, and it is just pure evil. Because if you would just let these people do their jobs, our country would be better.
Correct. And that's why these people that are out there, God, in the South, we say, bless their hearts.
Yeah.
Because they have no clue. They think they're justice warriors. They think they're fighting for but they've actually been brainwashed by the left-wing propaganda. They've been manipulated to think that they're doing good, and they're just pawns. And
you know, not even that. I wouldn't even give them the benefit of doubt for that they think they're doing good. Is because they don't care. They just want to go against authority. They want to go against the police. They want to go against everything that says we tell you what to do, not the other way.
Right.
So it doesn't matter what they're fighting for because they don't care what's right and wrong. They just want to fight for the right to do whatever they want. They're like anarchy. They want that chaos, and whatever it takes, they'll do it.
And they have
they stand for nothing. At the end of the day, they stand for nothing.
And they have no clue how happy that the deep state globalists get when one of them get taken out. It's kind of like
a murder, a
for
martyrdom.
example, for example, if we want to look back at the form of religion and make a connection there, how proud was that organization of the children that didn't receive a blood transfusion? They put them on the cover of an Awake. Here are your heroes.
It's disgusting. They made, they made murals of George Floyd. They made statues.
Yeah,
they made.
Here's your hero.
It's disgusting.
But yet they didn't say a damn word about Jocelyn Nongari, Lake and Riley, all those other, the girl in Charlotte. You know, they didn't say crap about that. So I guess our biggest thing is, you know, folks have got to understand this game and not make low IQ statements that, you know, we can debunk in 22 minutes. You know, that's just drives me crazy.
But they're gonna make it regardless because they feel it's because they're dislike Trump. Trump's the truth. You know, it's like it's because they don't like him.
Yeah, that's all it is.
That they're gonna say stuff like that because it doesn't really. If it was a president that they like, they wouldn't be saying that. Which is why I don't care who the president is. I don't care who the governor is. I want the Constitution. I want law and order. I don't care.
Yeah, I got 2 more clips I want to play real quick, and then we'll wrap this whole part up. Hell, it's getting close to 11 o'clock.
Because there are 2 comments that I want to address really quickly. JG says, didn't Trump recently pass an order to boot the Somalians? And I did hear that. They have until March 17th, I believe, to leave the country with like self-deport. So I did see that recently in the news.
Really? Yeah. I missed that.
Yeah, like they lost their status. They're like the emergency status or something like that. And they have to self-deport in March, before March.
I did not know that. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I saw that on X just before coming here. I saw that. And really quickly, Tracy says, is asking me, how many generations have I been here? Well, I wouldn't consider myself so I don't consider Puerto Ricans immigrants of any sort. America took Puerto Rico. Okay, so we are Americans since the day America took us. Okay, and before that, it was the Spanish, and before that, who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like, once again, you can consider Puerto Rico as conquered. Okay, they took us. All right, so I have been here since the day America took me. All right.
And you were born where?
New York.
Yeah. Have you ever lived in Puerto Rico?
No, but
so from what I'm understanding, you're an American.
Yes, but
it doesn't matter.
But yes, but when like I talk about this all the time, when you want to talk about, well, who's a real American or what does it mean to be American? Well, in terms of the territories, they don't even have a fighting chance because we don't even have representation. So we are just American by, you know, it wasn't our choice, basically. It's out of our hands. We don't even have a decision to make about being American or not. And my father was actually born in Puerto Rico. So, like I said, as soon as America gained Puerto Rico, they conquered us, okay? So we are American, and it is not by choice. It's not willingly. We are just American. So
you know what? That makes me want to like look up the whole history of how that all happened, because I don't know how it all happened. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yes, and that's why a lot of Puerto Ricans are either Taino, you know, black and brown with Afro, you know, like Afro Latinas, and then the other half of Puerto Rico looks white, blue-eyed, green-eyed like me. Because of the Spanish. I have more Spaniard blood in me than anything. So, you know, once we start learning about all of that, it's almost like it's not a topic of discussion because Puerto Rico is not itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's conquered. It wasn't a choice. It wasn't like in Haiti where they fought back and won. You know what I'm saying? Like please, we didn't even have a choice. And my generation of Puerto Rican Americans, we don't even call ourselves that. We're just American in the States. Like, we were born in the United States. My generation doesn't even know Spanish anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, please.
All right. So, all right. She was very passionate about that, y'all. She told you how she felt. All right. Let's go here to share screen. I got 2 more I want to play here. Right here. Share.
Thing I've ever heard. Where? Who? Well, people keep finding Renee Good's social media, and just all the stories are falling apart. Y'all like the video right here, and check this out. So the receipts keep coming. Once again, the internet does what the media refuses to do. People look, people check, people connect the dots. In the Minneapolis ICE shooting case, the narrative collapsed so fast. A story pushed by activists painted Renee Good as a random innocent bystander. That story does not survive even the most basic scrutiny. Online researchers located multiple public profiles tied to her name on Instagram. Her followers included known Antifa-linked pages. That alone destroys the claim of political neutrality. Then came the Venmo, a public-facing account, a BLM-themed profile image, and transaction notes tied to protest activity in 2020. That pattern is not subtle. This was not a disengaged passerby. This was someone embedded in activist culture built around confrontation with law enforcement. That context matters because this incident did not happen in a vacuum. Democrat leaders amplify the chaos instead of calming it. Representative Ilhan freaking Omar, that idiot, escalated the rhetoric, accusing ICE of disappearing citizens and lawful residents. Oh God, words like that do not de-escalate, they radicalize. In fact, take a listen, watch this.
And when people are disappeared in the darkness, American democracy dies.
Congresswoman, what does that even mean?
And for every single person to understand that they are not only disappearing people who have committed crimes, who are in this country undocumented.
Illegal.
They are disappearing U.S. citizens.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Where? Who?
Disappearing people who have proper documentation.
Doubt
sometimes
it.
telling them that their documentations are wrong, keeping them for days upon days. We've also seen people be...
You mean people who are suspected of committing a crime can be detained, Ilhan Omar?
Deported, who have proper documentation, yet to be returned to this country. That's right. This should not
That's not right, lady. Who the hell is that lady in blue acting like a damn idiot too?
allowed in a country that roots in itself.
Oh, really? What about massive fraud? Is that allowed, Ilhan Omar? What about massive levels of fraud with daycare centers and health care fraud? Is that allowed?
In freedom and liberty. There is no freedom when you are being detained and your government is being turned against you. This should be appalling to everyone.
What's appalling is you, Ilhan Omar. You are
Exactly.
appalling. Anyways, polling shows the damage. Roughly 1/4 now say violence against ICE is acceptable. That's crazy. Among young self-identified liberal women, support spikes sharply, of course, because young self-identified liberal women are literally the worst people ever to exist. That's not activism. That is conditioning. ICE enforced existing laws. Political leaders and activist media created the atmosphere. The atmosphere produced the confrontation. The truth is simple. This did not come out of nowhere, and pretending otherwise guarantees more of it. Y'all like the video right there? Follow.
What did Malcolm X say? That the most dangerous thing is a white liberal, and that's the truth. And I mean, it doesn't even have to be white, in my opinion. You could just be a liberal. It's a fine line between being a liberal and a domestic terrorist, because why else would you be there instigating things. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you follow the law, you follow the commands, and you're not a fool, you'll be just fine. Okay? I don't believe in nothing else than that, because if America's fine. Okay? This is like the very few people or videos that get viral so that people could believe as if America is really racist or like chaotic or whatever. It's like, no, it's very peaceful in America. We live very good, very well. Okay, we don't have any chaos in the street.
Well,
who brings the chaos?
Yep, exactly.
When you see those headlights, they're pulling over people. Who are they pulling over? Who's bringing the chaos? Who's starting the chaos? That the cops got to come and finish it. Okay?
Yep.
So please.
Yeah, because most people that are law-abiding citizens and just living their life, they have jobs.
Exactly.
They're not out there at 1:30, 10:30 in the morning starting to harass ICE officers and things like that.
Yeah.
We have jobs and responsibility, which she had responsibility and she chose to
neglect them. Exactly. You decided to neglect and orphan your kid because you're following a police.
Yeah.
Like what? Please.
So the good thing about it is, yes, the narrative on this has completely fallen apart. I got one last clip on. Well, yeah, there's one here. I wanted because what's the one show that the liberals love to talk about and hold up on high? There you go. So let's go.
I hate them. You see why? Never mind.
Right.
Just go because I'm gonna start.
Hang on. You'll get to go off in a second.
Of course, I'm being a little tongue.
Okay, let me make sure.
I need y'all to plug in and listen. I just found something, you guys.
You.
When it comes to code.
No, not you. This guy.
Right. Wrong. Hell did indeed freeze over again. In fact, it froze over so thoroughly that they actually went further than I thought they were going to. I'm going to explain the entire thing right now, but the clips I'm about to show you about the Minneapolis situation are going to make your jaw drop. Because it turns out I told you that they were going to drop the story completely on Monday. Well, I stopped a little short of the goal. It turns out they were just going to do an Uno reverse and start saying the truth out loud. I know. Seriously. Hell, park a store. It's a thing. Everything will be linked in the description box below. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think. And please let me hear what you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. Y'all, I'm about to show you the view turning on this whole thing. I mean, listen, Lefty 101. If you lost the view, you lost everything. Okay, now let's get into this. Of course, I'm being a little tongue-in-cheek, but make sure you catch the live stream tonight where we dive into a whole lot more stories. It's going to be fire. It's 9 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you are there. Okay, what am I talking about? Great question. Of course, we're talking about the Minneapolis shooting. You know, the one that the internet set on fire and protests set on fire, and now all of a sudden is like vaporizing like, dew in the summertime in Florida on grass. I mean, like just gone. But it's interesting because we talked about, you guys can let me know in the comments if you remember this would eventually evaporate right around Monday because it would follow the news cycle because of inconvenient facts that keep on coming out. Again, it's like breaking like a freaking just waterfall at this point. They've lost the view. Watch this. Like I said, I expected it to disappear without a whimper, but I didn't expect them to do a complete and total double down on, watch.
It is a reminder as this is happening in our country that we have to have peaceful protests, because I think anytime you have someone that is obstructing or cutting people off, she does not deserve to be dead, but that is also creating the situation of a tinderbox. And this is why we're seeing more shootings right now.
Hold the phone. First of all, dead giveaway tell when you have to do that caveat. Because every normal human being would go, yeah, no kidding, we don't want anyone to die. If you got to put the caveat, that means you're a lefty talking about how this person set up the wrong expectation. That's what that means. Okay. The View just came out and she said openly they were obstructing. They were actively in the process of obstructing. Y'all, That is a complete and total narrative shift. I thought it was just going to whimper out and nothing was going to happen. They were going to move on to other things about some other way that you and I are evil or Trump is evil or some other big orange man bad thing that was happening. But no, turns out they're just going to go straight into they actually have to say what genuinely happened here. And I'm sure there's a reason. That's the fourth tab coming up. Make sure you hang in here. But let's keep going.
All right. So we still, okay. So yeah, they lost the view. The narrative is gone. So what people need to do is they need to look back and examine, okay, how did I react to this? You know, what do I need to understand that's going on behind the scenes that caused this? Who really is at fault for something like this happening? And then you start putting the pieces together. For those that have been following me, they watch those. And what did I say on the big picture episodes? You always want to put the frame together first and then start filling in the pieces to the puzzle. And then once you put the pieces in and you see the picture just shows you a big pile of crap, because that's what it was.
Yeah. While I was watching that video, I was typing out this comment when I said, they know the truth. This is why I don't give the left the benefit of the doubt anymore, because they know the truth. They know what's right and wrong. They know the truth when these situations happen. They just pick and choose when to be dumb, because it's on purpose. Those low IQ comments, they choose to say dumb stuff like that, either because they're getting paid or, you know, they're just a traitor, you know, like they probably did it for free, which is worse, you know? So,
and speaking of traitors, you know, we opened up this discussion by showing the fraud in Minnesota, what was going on behind the scenes, or the congressional hearing. We opened up with that, because now we can see that this whole thing was a distraction from that. And Tim Walz was being highly implicated in that congressional hearing.
Yeah.
And so there is thought that he may resign with, I'm going to give it 2 weeks. I don't think he survives this. So there's one. Yeah, I got one last. I can't believe I had all these tabs open and I finally got down to the last one. Let me go back to share screen. Let's go to Tim Walz and share and volume.
We are about to see the great legacy.
No, you're not.
The Democrats' favorite mantra, no one is above the law, just came back to bite them, and it's biting hard. 2 massive investigations just dropped on Gavin Newsom and Tim Walz. And let me tell you, this could sink both of them faster than a lead balloon. So let's see how Tim Walz is handling the news.
I'm not going anywhere. And you can make all your requests for me to resign over my dead body. Will that happen?
Over my dead body, huh? That's rich, considering DHS just rolled in with 2,000 agents on the ground. And guess what? That's only the opening act. I uncovered the owners of a Hilton property who refused to book a room for ICE agents in Minneapolis. And once you see the details, it'll make sense. Then Zohran Mim got put on notice by the Department of Justice over a video showing a member of his staff saying that white people will be penalized. Good luck, New York. You're cooked. And it gets even juicier. The 26-year-old who broke into the vice president's home, surprise, surprise, the family is a major Democratic donor. All that, plus a bonus clip of President Trump doing what he does best today, working the crowd. I love when he goes into storyteller mode. And this one, it had me laughing out loud. So, you know, I had to share it. As always, hit that like button if you enjoy this. And
So the point that I had playing that was just Tim Walz saying that he's not going to go anywhere. Tim, I don't think you have a choice at this moment, brother.
Yeah, and you know what recently came out when the whole fraud was coming out? Because this is a real distraction to the fraud, right? Let's bring it back to center. This is about the fraud. This is about the billions of dollars of fraud that was happening in Minnesota, right? So I don't know if you saw these clips, Jimmy, but I'm going to share with you about these 2 activists having a slip up.
Wait lists for these programs that are years long. There is fraud. The fraud that is occurring is not at the hands of families. We need to be looking at who's in power, who's taking decisions.
Did you catch that? I'll play it one more time.
My tax dollars too, and making
Yeah, because it was glitching there for a second.
To learn, parents go to work, and providers can keep their doors open. That's what I have to say. I went a little off script. Thank you.
Oh, she went a little off script, huh?
There are wait lists for these programs that are years long. There is fraud. There is fraud that is occurring is not fraud. There is for these programs that are fraud. There is.
She couldn't believe it. That said it. She kind of slipped up and she said, "There is fraud." Like, yeah, we know, honey.
I like it. She says at the end, I kind of went off script. Really? So yeah, you can believe what you want, but we have given you plenty of information tonight. Go back and watch it. Check those clips out. This was a distraction. Unfortunately, it was a false flag. It was a false flag. And if you remember, false flag.
And then they put people. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but they put people like this to try to recoup what they didn't accomplish. They thought the shooting was going to make people burn cities again. It didn't. Right. I mean, there was crazy altercations with in Minnesota, but then they put people like this to try to get your emotions involved.
Yep.
And then they have these slip-ups because they're paid to lie. And this is the same conference. So you saw the white woman in the back?
Yeah.
Now listen to this.
All right.
If childcare is cut, I'm unable to work or go to school. I understand fraud is bad.
She couldn't even finish what she wanted to try. She couldn't.
If childcare
she just left.
I'm unable to work or go to school. I understand fraud is bad.
Yes, fraud is bad.
My God.
Yes.
Wow.
It's like the truth always comes out. The truth will always come out.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. Oh, you know what, Ruby? It's 10:43. There's no really reason I should go into the Enoch News Blast tonight because
Yes.
You want me to still do some? You mean I can do it real quick. I mean,
sure. We gotta give you your moment. We gotta give you your moment.
Well, hang on a second.
Ready?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Hang on a second. Hang on. Let's do this. If you have some thoughts on the information that we provided for you this evening, did we share anything with you guys that you didn't see before, or we gave you a red pill that you didn't know you needed? Give us your thoughts on all the stuff that we did just now. And then I'll look up when I need to look up real quick because I actually deleted them from the computer. So let me know. Let me know what y'all think.
All right. So we're going to have to give you guys a moment to start typing, guys. Let us know. And I'll pull up your comment. I'll read it. Oh, or if anybody else wants to join, let me put the link again, just in case. I think it's pinned on my chat if anybody wants to join us. JG says, what's a red pill? Truth. Yeah, a red pill is almost like reality. It's like a dose of reality. It's uncomfortable, like the way he told Neo. He was like, that's not the world you were living in. That's not the real world. So he gave him the red pill to show him the real world. And that's kind of why I made the theme of our intro like Matrix, is because that's how I feel like what me and Jimmy do. We give that dose of uncomfortable reality and truth, even when you don't like it or don't want to hear it. I say it all the time. Sometimes it comes out the way it comes out. I already know people are going to be opinionated, but Sorry, that's just my opinion, my truth, and I gotta put it out there. So that's kind of like what that red pill is. You always get a little bit on a day-to-day basis, but here you overdose. And that's why I wrote that lyric in the song, because every Tuesday night you're gonna overdose with us when you're here.
I mean, we brought a lot out.
What?
I just said we've brought a lot out tonight, especially like with the Insurrection Act. If you go look that up some more, if you don't think Trump can do it, then you need to educate yourself, because he most certainly can. Yeah. So, but
and he should, like, we should be, on the side of law and order.
Yeah. So, all right. Was there anybody saying any last comments on that? I can't believe nobody's come on the stage this evening.
No, yeah, it was kind of a quiet evening, but they might see this later. Like our regulars might see this later, and I do see when they comment like a day later or 2 days later. So don't worry about it. If you're watching later, stay in the comments. Okay, we do have some comments coming in. So JG says, "Can I have a blue pill?" And I wish I could take a blue one. I wish I never woke up to it, really.
Yeah.
But here we are. Debbie says, "I didn't know the story behind the woman who was shot by ICE. Thanks for the info. I didn't see much else of the show." Okay, so Debbie, thank you, Debbie.
And I'll go ahead before go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so John says, "Well, the shooting still is controversial, but there are issues with the good." I agree on that. But the raids are always going to get a gathering of people who are going to start a problem on both sides.
If they want it to happen, because like I said, there was over 6,800 arrests by ICE of illegal immigrants in Minnesota during the Biden administration, and there were no protests, there were no crowds, there was nothing. So if they want to put that on the TV for everybody to see, that's what they're going to do. But as we can see, that everything that they did has completely backfired on them. And unfortunately, yes, there was a loss of life. She could have been the worst mother in the world. She could have been a freeloading person on government assistance, but she didn't deserve to lose her life. But if you put yourself in a situation like someone said, protesting is risky business. Yeah, and the thing is there is no constitutional right to, hold on, before I say it, let me go to my screenshots, because I think, let me see if I got it here. Oh God, where did I put that at? But basically saying there's no constitutional right for you to protest in the way that they were doing it. The Constitution gives you the right of freedom of assembly.
Right.
That's what it gives you. That's what it gives you. It doesn't give you the right to burn buildings down. It doesn't give you the right to attack other people. It doesn't give you the right to stand in front of vehicles and things. Oh, and speaking of standing in front of vehicles, sorry, I wanted to make sure I brought this out, because back in 2023, I'm going to bring this out. Back on July 23rd of 2020, a bill was signed into law by Governor Tim Walz. Listen carefully to all those doubters out there. This was in the Minnesota statutes 609.066. If a driver accelerates towards an officer standing in front of a vehicle, this creates an immediate life-threatening danger. The officer does not need to wait until impact. They can act based on the intent of proximity.
Right.
That is a Minnesota law. So apply that the way it needs to be applied. Other than that, that's all I got to say about this shooting.
That should be a law in every state. I mean, that's what I would call common sense laws, okay? And if you are doing dumb stuff like that, then I would disagree, and I would say you do deserve it. When you're breaking the law and you get shot, you deserved it. Because it's not like you were at the wrong place at the time. No, you wanted to be, planned to be there, and now you got so like there's no excuse for that in my book. There's no excuse for it. You deserved everything. So sorry, but unfortunately, she lost. She wanted to. Yep. Yep. Exactly.
So
exactly. Because if she didn't want that type of smoke or interaction with the police, she would have never been there. She wanted chaos. You see, they want that clip, and that's girlfriend was over there recording. They want this. They want it. They probably weren't expecting. They want it.
Yeah. And there's so much more that we could have talked about this. We could have dove into all the, situations with the car and this and the police and that and or the GoFundMe page that was, we could have, but we didn't want to talk about all that stuff. We wanted to show the reasonings why this happened and how it has just
the bigger picture.
Yeah. We want to not talk about all this trivial stuff. So, but I think we can say that, this should have never happened. And we blame those who were not following constitutional law. It's pretty simple. Ruby, I think we need to, I think we need to just wait on the news blast because it's like 10:52. So.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so whatever you have, save it for next Tuesday so we could do the news earlier at the front, at the front end. And then I want to do Greenland, Iran, anything else?
I wrote down Greenland and Iran. So that's what I've got written down. And I'm going to do some personal research.
Oh, yeah. Write down Fishback. He's running for governor and he is causing a ruckus on the internet. And I am loving every second of it. He's actually getting me excited about politics again. Like I would vote for this guy. I was a little black pilled a couple weeks ago when I kind of told you guys like I don't want to vote no more. I might deregister. That was a while back, but I am white pilled again. I am ready. I am thankful for Fishback. So
Ruby,
I got my eye on this guy.
If we're going to promote you to a true digital soldier, we need you to hold the line, sweetheart.
Yo, sometimes I'd be like, you know what? Forget about it. I don't care no more. America's going down the drain. We need a dictator at this point. I don't care no more. Like, we need a king or a dictator.
Let me spill my coffee. Dang it. Hang on, I got to get a napkin.
Oh, no, I made Jimmy spit out his coffee or whatever you were drinking. I thought I heard coffee. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, Debbie, yes, I comment here. So sorry, Debbie.
I got it on my computer.
Oh my gosh, bro. What happened?
It's right there on the space bar. Okay. All right. I got tickled when you said we needed a dictator.
Yeah, for real. It's like all these people who complain that Trump is a dictator or, like stupid that my response would be, I wish he was. I truly wish he was America First king at this point because a king or a dictator would never let this happen. You know what I'm saying? Like a true leader who loves his country and his people and his nation and his culture, But I'm stuck here. I'm stuck in America. I'm stuck with these politics. I'm stuck with this corruption. I'm stuck with it. So I gotta work with what I got.
It's just gonna get so much more fun over the next couple of weeks, months ahead. We're just getting started. This is gonna be. I'm telling you, it's going to be fun. It's going to be crazy. But any
I don't know.
do we have any last thoughts? Because I'm ready to wrap up tonight. And do you have our outro song ready to go? Go to my YouTube channel.
Oh, that's right. That's right. All right. So then before I do that, you got to put on the list the apostate video that I want to show.
Look, I spit all over
So you
the
have to write
list.
that.
It's got
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What am I putting on the list?
Oh my god. I almost forgot. The video from the Great Apostate about the UK, Britain. So there was some stuff going on in the UK and their military videos from like years ago. Oh my god, that was too much.
All right. Well, folks, if you want to keep up with everything that Ruby and I are doing, go find us on X. Yeah. If you don't know where to find us, if you want to join the chat that we have on X, it's called the Big Picture Chat. Let me know, and I'll invite you to that, where you can share things that are happening as in real time. You know, because we have been talking about this stuff throughout the week. We just didn't go public with it because we wanted to make sure that when we went public with it, on our feelings and thoughts, that we did our due diligence to do the research and to bring you guys valid information that can't be debunked. So that's what we try to do, bring you real information. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this evening. So, but yeah, that's all I got.
Links.
Do what?
I got the links in the description of your X page, my X page. I always give a fair warning. If you're gonna see me on X, be prepared. Okay, you will be shocked of. I tone myself down for YouTube just so that I don't get a strike. But if you really want to talk about politics, meet me on X, because that's where I can get real, nitty gritty. Okay. So I got the song. It's called The Outrage Cycle. So this is another made is it in the UPC album?
It is not. I actually just did this song a couple of days ago, and I just posted it on my YouTube channel. I haven't put it in the playlist yet, or maybe I did. But if I haven't, I will. Because this song, this song, if you guys listen to it carefully, this describes the type of people that we've been seeing on the news this past week and all over social media. So, and it's called The Outrage Cycle. And I guess we'll just say good night to everybody. Say good night to everybody, and thanks for watching.
Definitely. Good night. Yeah, thank you for coming. Hopefully next Tuesday our regulars will join the stage. Be here like 9 so that you could join. You know what I'm saying? Like join as fast as possible because we want to hear your thoughts and stuff like that.
Yeah. We appreciate you guys. We love you very much and hope you have a great week.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you in the chat, everybody. I'm going to play the song and I'm going to put us in the back.
This morning, check my phone and I saw 17. I'm supposed to be mad out instead of drinking coffee, living life, or talking to my friends. I've got to pick my battle before the news cycle ends. There's a tweet that's problematic from 2009. A celebrity said something that's the line. Better share it before the algorithm moves. Gotta get my outrage in before I lose my groove. It's the outrage cycle, round and round we go. Mad Monday, got it by Tuesday, on to the next. We're also angry, greedy, but by Friday can't remember what brought us to our knees. Oh, the outrage will never. Yesterday's villain is tomorrow's saint, depending on which side just discovered that. Complain, we've got our pitchforks ready, our hashtags locked and loaded, but because we're fighting for just got recoded. Someone said I'm literally shaking in the thread, another one replied, this is violence to what someone said. We're all performing fury for an audience of friends who are also performing fury, and around it goes again. It's the outrage cycle, round and round we go. Mad on Monday, forgot it by Tuesday. On to the next show, we're also righteous warriors online, but we can't recall what we were mad about last time. Oh, the outrage cycle never sleeps. Remember that thing we cared about last week? That injustice that we swore we'd always speak, replaced by something new to make us mad. And the cause we championed, well, that's just sad. We're on the carry, but we can't slow down. There's always something new. Internet down. Formative compassion is the currency we trade, but the real work gets forgotten in the masquerade. Now I'm not saying that there's nothing worth the fight, or that calling out justice isn't right, but when everything's a crisis and nothing's ever fine, we're just hollering into the void most of the time. So maybe take a breath before you hit send. Ask yourself if this is how you want the day to end, cause the outrage industrial complex wants your soul, and it's feeding off our anger to fill that gaping hole. It's the outrage cycle, out of control. We're addicted to the fury, it's taking quite a toll. Tomorrow there'll be something new to make us scream and shout, but today's emergency, we've already forgotten what that's about. Oh, the outrage cycle never sleeps. No, the outrage cycle never sleeps. And we're all too tired to count the sheep.